Sir, there's artillery. Sir, please stop. There's artillery and missiles and whatnot coming your way. Sir, what sir? Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today I have a 4v4 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 up here in the northeast, ending with Team 2 in the southwest. Starting up with Team 1's Tropical Ocean Blue player of Cement, going first land as a Cyber, and he's also going second land. He is a 2,000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 1, and tied for the highest rated player overall. And again, he is going as a Cyber. To his north is a play of Hatsy, going first land. In the rear guard air slot, he is a 1600 in Chevy Crimson. He does have a little bit of water to escape to. Anybody else does in that corner of the map. To his west, we have Dreamer Lazy going first land as an Aeon. He is an 1800 in Ruby Red. And last but not least, in the northwest, we have I Make War on You going first land as a second Cyber. Here for Team 1, he is a 1500 in Imperial Gray. So for Team 1 side of things, they have one of each except for Seraphim. They have a dual major in Cybern Technology, which means 2 Cyberns, 1 Aeon, and 1 UEF for Team 1. Down here in the south, starting off with Team 2's Regal Purple player of the Egg Roll, going first land as a UEF. That actually sounds pretty good right now. He is a 1400. He is the lowest ranked player on Team 2 and in the game overall. But again, 1400, we say low, but it's all relative, especially in this game. And again, he is a UEF in Regal Purple. To his northwest, the other purple player on Team 2 is Rayla, going first land, second air as another UEF here for his team. He is an Amethyst Purple, and he is a 2,000 rated, the highest ranked on Team 2, and tied in the game overall. In the regular air slot, we have the lightest red pink player of Shalnesh, going first land as a Cyber, and he is a 1700. And again, he's going first land in the regular air slot. And last but not least, for Team 2 in Orange Color Orange, we have Neutron going first land. He is a Seraphim, the one and only of the game. He is a 1700. And again, he is in orange, the color orange. So for Team 2 side of things, they have a dual major in UEF technology with 1 Seraphim and 1 Cybern, which means Team 2 does not have access to Aeon tech. Team 1 does not have access, again, for Seraphim tech. We're seeing a little bit of the early action here from a couple of scouts kind of poking at Team 2's early engineers. But as that happens, we're going to go leak him very, very quickly, and we can talk about that. We do see on the map for 8 players, 5,000 reclaim, about 600, a little over 600 mass per player. That's not a ton, but again, this is a smaller map. I can't even zoom out all the way to see the full border of the game. So again, it is a smaller map, and we are seeing actually those hunters getting very deep into Team 2's territory. The Egg Roll just kind of over here to the east. He does have a quad mix right next door for him to scoop up, and it does look like there'll be a scout that will be scooped up by that striker. But talking about mass point layouts, there is a quad max here for the southern and northern players of Team 1 and Team 2. Trimax on the front line here for Neutron and for Cement. And it's really about it. I mean, maybe these mexes in the middle will be fought over. I don't really seeing that. I kind of see these 2 being grabbed by Team 1, these 2 being grabbed by Team 2, and then these kind of just be null and void. And in the west and kind of in the east, I mean, it's kind of hard. I kind of see Team 2 grabbing these set, and then Team 1 maybe grabbing these, or at least grabbing these at a minimum. And then this one over there, maybe that one in the middle is kind of the null and void one. But that is the mass point layout and the reclaim, and I did not slow it down because it was only 8 players, and we're about 4 minutes in, so it's about where I would kind of end up being for a 6v6 game. Anyways, so hopefully everybody enjoyed the new intro from yesterday's video. I am going to repeat that for today's video, which you will already have seen that. But, of course, I record the video and then snip a part out and put it in the beginning as a nice little hook. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that from yesterday's cast. This is one of, again, a higher rated cast. We're talking about, average is about 1,700. So we do see 2,000 rated players as well as 17 and 1,800s here. This should be a nice, exciting game. And it is a smaller map, so it does confine the action to be very quick, very just like go, 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 go. And you can see that right now at 4.5 minutes, almost 5 minutes in. We're going to see a 2v1 scenario materialize here on this western side. We have I Make War on You and Dreamer Lazy coming in to intercept the forces out from Neutron on that western side. There's a 1v1 scenario in the middle here between, see, that is Rayla and Hotzi. Hotzi's actually moved forward from the rear guard air slot. And we do see Egg Roll on the southern side. So it's a 1v1, a 1v1, and a 2v1 in favor of Team 1. The only comm to have not left his main base is Slanesh. And they are moving up actually to the middle, probably to looks like to support Rayla. But maybe it's going to be a 2v2, at least maybe kind of a 1v1 with a backup. But it does look like the forces outbound from Team 1's Lazy are going in on the eastern side of this little mountain range, whatever the heck you want to call this thing. And Dreamer Lazy trying to build a T1 Mechs. Neutron goes, I need to deal with this incoming threat. Tries to get a T1 PD online. That is not going to finish. It is Aurora versus Thams, which means the Aurora have the better range, but the Thams have more hit points. And it does look like those Aurora will be forced back by some strikers outbound from Team 2's Rayla, trying to cover again this kind of approach from the little not plateaus, but little mountain sections here. Team 2's Team 2's Neutron is actually being forced back to this section of the map, and that pressure from Team 1's I Make War on You is not stopping. He's sending constant pressure here to just annoy Team 2. Neutron going for speed and range. We do see Dreamer Lazy coming in on this eastern side. We're going to see some sort of a divide and conquer maneuver where they go around kind of like this and meet up, either surrounding the comm of Neutron or forcing him back. We do see T2 upgrades going on for both Hatsi and for Rayla. They're both UEF, so it's again Firebase Wars in the middle of the map here pretty soon. But Team 2's the Egg Roll is actually pushing up decently well against Team 1's Cement. Kind of very similar to what's happening here on the northwestern side here for Team 1 is happening for Team 2, except Egg Roll is doing it by himself. There is a small band of units outbound from Cement, kind of getting out there, some T1 Mexes. Would love to see him divert just one striker over here to take out, actually that's a Mantis, not a striker, to take out that radar. But they're getting into deep, into the main base of Team 2's the Egg Roll, and he's not sending all of his forces back. He's splitting them up, sending some of them back to defend, while the other of them actually going to be sent to assist the comm of the Egg Roll against Cement. And again, it is a 1v1. Cement does have 2,000 less hit points on board that commander versus the Egg Roll. And there are forces right here that could easily kill off Cement. Cement's forces are actually over here. They could have easily had an engagement, but I guess neither player wants to fully engage and lose those units. And those Mantis do get another Mechs killed off, but not a huge loss here for Team 2 on the southern side. And in the western side here for Team 2, it does look like with that gun upgrade, Neutron is able to at least force back the momentum a little bit here for Team 1. We do see some assistance from Slanesh moving in behind him. So now it's more of a 2v2 with Team 1's Dreamer Lazy kind of now rotating to the east. Does look like he's kind of being just filling in, not filling in, but he's kind of rotating between middle and west lanes here. We do see Rayla is over on the right side of the middle, kind of going after, again, a couple of PD. But there are units inbound from Dreamer Lazy. He's going to go for speed. He already has range on board. He did the first gun upgrade. I want to say correct, but I always prefer the range upgrade versus the speed upgrade first. It's just more utility. I always feel a little bit, quote, safer. Because you never feel 100% safe in this game. Because at any moment you can die from a lot of things. I wouldn't say anything, but essentially anything. But I Make War on You does lose all of his engineer support, but does finish that gun upgrade. So Neutron and I Make War on You both have guns. Unfortunately, Neutron will have 11.5k hit points, and I Make War on You will have 8,000 hit points. So the Cyber Commanders, of course, have a little bit weaker of a hit point pool, but they have a lot more versatility. And the Seraphim, I mean, they have a lot of versatility, to be fair, as well. And they can be super tanky, as we've seen in previous casts. But Neutron now has rank and veterancy, and I Make War on You's forces are actually kind of clumping up right here. We do see Slanesh moving in. He doesn't have any sort of upgrades on board, but we'll get some nice veterancy, be able to get to T1 or to 1-star or even maybe 2-star for maybe 1.5 from this. But I Make War on You and Neutron are not stopping. We do see more reinforcements coming in from Dreamer Lazy to assist, going after Neutron's commander. But I Make War on You is in the deep yellow. Same here with Neutron. But again, Neutron's at 1-star veterancy and is almost at 5, while I Make War on You is barely above 2,500. And it's just fueling Team 2's comms' veterancy. We see that veterancy. Not going super high here for Slaanesh. But Neutron's just going to continue to press the issue against I Make War on You. He's not stopping. I Make War on You is dropping into the red, sub 2,000 hit points. And neither Calm wants to do a murder-suicide situation, but Team 1 definitely has the bad end of the deal in that regard. And it does force Dream Release to rotate back to the west. And it does look like, of course, Rayla does have some units kind of guarding that western approach anyways for them. And this is a large middle to control. There is a large buildup of Team 1 units on the right side. And there are a lot of T2 facilities being pumped out very, very quickly. We could see a couple of Janus going after a... what is that, T2 Pigeon? Yeah, that was a T2 Pigeon given the size of the... I forget what those are called, but it's like the imprint of the building. Upbound from Rayla. Going to get another Janus out. Oh, could have gotten for that other Pigeon, but went for the engineer's support. Actually, that Janus comes back, gets to singe a little bit of that fusion reactor, but with those T2 Januses, it does slow down that T3 advancement for Team 1's Hotzi. A little bit. It's kind of it's not super struggling, but the other T2 Pigeon going down definitely will not assist with that. You see now it's more of a struggle to keep that online, and the mass is now a full bar, so not spending your mass, that's always got to hurt. While as Team 2's player of Slaanesh does have T3 air online, so Rayla assisting in that regard, kind of playing a little bit more of the hybrid air and land. And now we see on the eastern side the dam has broken at least a little bit against Cement. Janus forces over the top of those Team 1 forces here for Cement, taking out a chunk of them, and the aggro is just continuing to press the issue here. Cement, again, doesn't have any veterancy, has 2,000 less hit points, actually more than that comparatively now. Does have a tickle cannon, but of course we know how much those are good for. We have Scorcares inbound to try to at least force back the aggro. He'll fall back a little bit, but he does have a lot of T1 AA support to take out a couple of those planes flying overhead, those fighter bombers. And to the northwest, we see the emergence of some hoplites here from I Make War on You. Team 1 does not have access to Seraphim tech, which means there are no Ilshis on that side of the neck, but Team 2 most definitely has a Seraphim player, and they have Ilshis, and they are pumping those out. Gun speed range going down here for Slaanesh, and Nano Repair needs to get that up sooner rather than later. I Make War on You already has one step more to get to their Nano, but again, still has to upgrade to Nano, while the Seraphim don't have to do that. They can just go straight to Nano, because they don't have a stealth upgrade or cloaking upgrade, but that's where the Cyberns are a little more versatile, and the Seraphim are a little bit more tanky. But look at the territory that Team 2's aggro has gained now, forcing Team 1's Cement back essentially to their main base, forcing them to go to T2 air just to get some Corsairs and punch this land back. Nice little squadron, almost squadron of Janus flying over top. They could, I don't know if they would kill Cement, but it'd be pretty darn close to killing off Cement. Team 1 now has T3 air technology, and they're going for their T3 Pigeon as we speak. But Team 2 already has their first one and going for their second one. So this is huge for Team 2. We could see an early bomber come out of Team 2. Maybe we'll see it. They're probably more assisting the Janus forces more than anything else. And there are some Corsairs moving into the middle here for Cement. We do see in the west just more build-up. Team 2's Neutron with that Nano Repair upgrade on board has 14,850 hit points. And it's just poking at the Team 1 forces here against Dream Release and I Make War on You. I Make War on You trying to force Team 2 back, but with some assistance outbound from Slaanesh. Does have a couple of engineers assisting that stealth. We'll probably go for Nano right after that just to have that on board and not have to worry about it later. Corsairs over the top. What is their target? They're going after maybe T2 Mechs. They did get shot up by those Januses. They're going after the T2 Pigeons. They don't kill off either of them. And the reclaim order is immediate to prevent any sort of volatile explosions. But look at the T2 air facilities pumping out Januses. These ASFs come in and assist the cleanup of that. So it wasn't the best engagement, but at least they took out the Pigeons. And of course, they're able to reclaim them and then rebuild right on top of them. And we see the Janus moving in to deal with the forces here for Team 1's I Make War on You. Team 1 bombers are inbound as well from Team 1, but the Janus, I mean, they're proven to be, of course, they are T2, a little bit more powerful, of course, than Team 1 bombers. and interceptors are on station to assist defensive measures in that regard. The Dreamer Lazy does have gun, speed, and range, and shield on board, so a little bit more tanky. It doesn't have the heavy shield, but has the first shield, so about 8,000 more hit points, of course, is better than nothing, as I always say. Interceptors here for Team 2, and ASF for Team 2 as well. There's a couple of ASFs for Team 1's Hatsi, but looks like the ASFs are going to engage the interceptors, and the ASFs will go for the interceptors? I guess so. The interceptors can kill off ASFs. It takes them a lot longer, of course. But Team 1 is being pushed back. The Janus is forcing the issue, and Team 1's front line is starting to collapse. A lot of the forces are gone just due to the Janus and, of course, the comm of Neutron. He's at almost 3,000 mass killed, working his way up to a 3rd star veterancy. T2 coming on the way here for the egg roll, and T3 Ravagers online for Hatsi, and trying to build a nice little fire base in the middle of this front line for Team 1 for his team. In about 15.5 minutes in this game, in terms of mass income, Team 1 at 360, Team 2 at 300. So Team 1 is winning that game, but Team 2 is starting to lose territory. We do see this a lot, where one team, if they're losing territory, will focus more on upgrades and get that going. But as soon as Team 2 gets a little bit of breathing room, those upgrades will fly up very, very quickly, and they'll ratchet up their eco a lot quicker than their opponents. But we do see it's a 2v2 scenario here going on so far. It is one Cybern and an Aeon versus one Cybern and a Seraphim. And was that an overcharge? Where is that going? We do see Aloysius going in the mix there for Team 1's Nuke. Gets immediately shot by an overcharge and almost killed off Slanesh. I think it's being essentially the bullet sponge here. They both have Nano on board, Neutron and Slanesh. Nuke does not, and Dreamer Lazy does not. So Team 1 is in not a great boat in that regard. Couple of roaming Ilshis running around, taking out some intercepting forces outbound from Dreamer Lazy from the east. And Team 2, like I said, they are forcing the issue, and they're forcing Team 1 back. All that gain that Team 1 had isn't essentially gone, but it's decently gone. And with Team 2 still holding this territory, Team 2 in control of more than 50% of the map. The only bright spot for Team 1 for map control is this Calm of Hatsi pushing forward, kind of getting a nice Battle of the Bulge scenario possibly going on in the middle of the map. Team 2's Rayla has fallen back, but does have a missile launcher on board, so it'll be very, very interesting to see what they do with that, if they go for Billy Nuke or not. ASF's flying over the top here for Team 2, Slanesh. And again, those Janus making their appearance. I haven't seen Janus use this much in a while, so it's good to see them once again. Janus going after those interceptors here. I kind of find it interesting how their wings kind of fold in when they're in fighter mode. And when they're in bomber mode, they fully extend. They remind me of the U-Wing from Rogue One. You've ever... I was going to say if you've ever seen it, but you've ever seen pictures of or a video of the wings expanding, that's what that reminds me of. Then it's going after the T3 land headquarters, and they will get that. So Team 1's You will lose T3 land Cybern technology, and I think just got air control as well. So Team 2 ticks 2 things off for Team 1's little scoreboard here. T3 land and the air control. Now the mass assassination operations are going underway. One T2 Mechs is gone. ASF's constantly protecting those Janus. 2 of them are now gone, and mass assassinations just continue to just now proliferate. Now to Dreamer Lazy. Team 1 needs to pump out either AA or a lot of air forces to deal with this in the west. Team 1's Dreamer Lazy still trying to hold on, but Team 2 is falling back just so they probably don't extend themselves a little bit further. There are a nice group of loyalists online, so that is kind of worrisome here for Team 2. Team 1 does have T3 land technology in the form of Aeon and Cybern in the east, but no UEF here. I feel like UEF would be really nice, especially for this nice little Battle of the Bulge. Team 1's Hatsi essentially creating a line of T2 shields to just creep his way, PD creep and AA creep on Team 2. Team 2 needs to deal with this sooner rather than later. One missile is not going to do it. Going for Billy Nuke probably would be the best way to go here for Rayla. But again, the harm is if Team 1's Hatsi does push forward a little bit too far, Team 2 could easily just come in and collapse that retreat line. And there he goes. He's dead in the water in the middle of the map. It is given a little bit more of operational area for Team 1 to work with in the middle, but again, it's just, is it worth the risk? I feel like at this point, I think Hatsi should probably stop right here, maybe build a couple, he's building another ship, maybe build a couple more shields and call it a day. I don't think he should push any far further because it's just, I don't think it's really worth it. We're approaching the 20-minute stage of the game. Team 1 now at 4:38. Team 2 is catching up at 4:23. Team 1 and Team 2 both have all players remaining. They are still alive. None of them died. Well, 20 seconds, you know, for now. I don't think one player will die in 20 seconds, but you never know. And again, if you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching to the 20-minute section of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the hook. I don't know what it is yet, but hopefully you did enjoy it. And again, thank you so much for watching. And let's see what's going on here with the egg roll. Egg roll does have shield, T2, and Zephamp. So kind of not kind of tanky, is tanky with 35,000, almost 36,000. Actually, no, 37,000. Excuse me, got a rank in veterancy. And Cement is being forced back by line of T2 pillars. And we also see a couple parashields, some skyboxers, and more units coming in behind them. There are some mongoose in there. They have grenade launchers and a Ravager-like right arm. And the egg roll is not stopping, avoiding the little tickle cannons because, you know, they're not really going to do anything anyways. But is just forcing Cement back. In the west, we do see it's more kind of turning into Firebase Wars. Team 2 looks like they've just given it to Neutron to manage. And we do see the Slanesh commander gonna hide in the water for now. We're gonna be focusing more on A and doesn't want to be sniped unawares. But Cement is being forced back, like I said, and there he goes. He is gonna be the first casualty of the game. Did not die before 20 minutes. Did die before 30, but not before 20. And he did get a brick online to try to defend, and the egg roll will claim it. So the lowest ranked player on Team 2 kills the highest ranked player on Team 1. That's, you know, one of the reasons why, especially in games like this where we're talking about, you know, average Joes, pretty close to pros kind of level. You know, rating, I mean, it matters, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Again, it now is a 4v3 game in favor of Team 2, the southwestern team. Southwestern team. And Neutron, wait, hold on. Neutron control case. He definitely didn't die by anything. No way he wins air with that. I kill, and there are 2 players. What? Win top left. Maybe we'll see something in chat about the departure of Neutron. As Slanesh goes, what the heck? And TML maybe says Cement. And there goes Team 2's Neutron in the west. It had to be a connection issue of something because most definitely it was not just due to the fact that he was killed off. He was perfectly fine in his base. Didn't get assassinated by anything. So it's always sad to see players go that way, but it is now a 3v3 tied up game here, and Loyalists try to use that to their advantage. Can't get it really close though. Looks like they're actually going to rotate to the middle over here to the east. There's a lot of push coming out from Team 2's the Eagle. He's very, very, very deep in Team 1's territory, and I say very one more time. Going after the T3 land headquarters for now Dreamer Lazy. He's in control of that. And I think those Loyalists might be making a plan to cut off the escape route for the Eagle. He could always go for a T2 transport or even a Continental if he's already been prepped that. But I don't... T3 air has been completed from Brayless, so we can go build that for him. But the Eagle will say, I got the T3 land headquarters. I took out a decent amount of mass. I'm going to call it a day. Some of those Mongoose and those T2 pillars will cover his escape, facing up against those Obsidians. The Loyalists are going to make a plan for that supply line, but unfortunately here, I mean, the comm of Eggroll is already retreating, and all Team 2 has to do is notice, and they do get pinged. Team 2 definitely notices what's going on with that. There is a person nearby, not enough to take out a group of Loyalists. There are some now Janus coming in to assist, and Janus looking like to be the main attack vector for Rayla. And Cement, what's going on? TMD says Rayla. Sam says, I don't know what the smiley face is, man. Oh, look, takes out that. That's what he's talking about. This is a T3. I think that was a T3 mechs, actually. Again, the Battle of the Bulge. I mean, there's a lot of missile launches here, but I don't know if it's... I mean, taking out some T2 mechs and T3 mechs, but I don't know if that's really worth it. TMD is starting to be built a lot. And now with those loyalists coming into the main base here for the egg roll, next thing would probably go after those TMDs. Took out one of them. The buzzkills aren't great, but again, it's better than nothing. Losing some E-storages here for some overcharge, but these loyalists don't have a lot of hit points compared to their brick brethren. We'll go for a T2 Mechs upgrade into T3. It is on pause, but the engineers are assisting it heavily. And I do think that the Mechs will be fine. Oh, nope, there it goes. Looks like, oh, nope. Oh, so close, so close. It does look like there was something blocking the shots from that one loyalist, but it was killed off. So the Mechs does end up being killed off, but it is a huge loss. There's now a group of Janus and Stingers. I don't know how Stingers. I just can't stand them. They're just not great. They're just paperweights, essentially. Good for spam, but again, with 700 hit points on board, they're not great. And where are they going? I think they're just coming to help, again, to assist the retreat efforts of the egg roll. He's taking some Absolver fire into the back, and there are now some T3 units coming in to deal with those gunships and some ASFs to guard them. But again, Team 2 is in control of the air. There's no dominance because there's not a lot of ASFs for Team 2 to really use for dominance. And again, especially with a small map like this, I mean, ASFs can fly across the map in about, a couple seconds. So it doesn't really, they can easily come and, deal with an issue on the other side of the map, but it's still not enough. It's not enough. They just have T2 bombers wandering everywhere. It says, I make war on you. Which, that is definitely what's going on and has been really working here for Team 2. Team 1 trying to implement a similar situation, but couldn't really make it materialize with those Corsairs. And it's now Ravager versus Ravager, and it looks like Hatsi is not favoring too well. The shields are online, and the Ravager is now targeting the commander directly. Does look like Rayla did lose a T2 shield. Going to rebuild it once again. Going to lose the next emitter. There it goes, but then one will replace it very quickly. Oh. There it goes. It's online. It's forcing back those Ravagers again. It's back and forth. Looks like Hatsi is just going to reclaim and then go from there. I feel like this attack was only going to work for so long. It's good that Hatsi didn't push too far forward. But missiles are inbound going after Rayla's commander, I think. But Rayla does move. And the shields and the TMD isn't going to make it a whole lot worth it. Dreamer Lazy has now rotated to the east with his commander to hold off the egg roll. Egg roll at 5-star veterancy, 23,000 mass killed on board that commander. Comparatively with the missile launcher capable commander of Rayla only at 104 mass killed. But T3 bricks are moving in from the western side here for Team 1. Again, there's just constant back and forth between Team 1 and Team 2. This is where essentially a lot of the fighting has occurred, but a lot of the needing to make sure one team gets the mass versus the other, just due to the fact that there's been so much combat over here. Again, a nice squadron or two of Janus are lining up once again to engage. Team 1 has a lot of a lot of bangers, T2AA in the mix, and that spy plane will see them. And it will force Team 2 to fall back a little bit. They can't use the same tactic once again. Just kite them, says Cement. You can. What does your weapons do? What? They have nothing that side, and just start pushing, just kite them. Talking about the T2 Janus, I'm assuming. But it's Ravager versus Ravager, but I don't think that Ravager is going to last very much longer. And maybe we'll kill one of the Ravager PD off. There it goes, but that one also got killed off. So Hatsi has started to fall back a little bit, but now the attack's starting to fan out here for Team 1. The counterattack that's been probably thinking about, planning for a while. But the AA just making it very painful for Janus to come in and assist. They're taking massive amounts of casualties every time they pass over that group of bangers. And now the Janus are like, forget this, we're going after the bangers. And there they go. A huge section of those bangers are being baked in. Holy fire. And at 27 minutes in this game, does Team 1 have a plan to end it? They have a plan to survive, I would assume, but not a plan to end it. Monkey Lord coming online here pretty shortly. T3 and T2 pressure still on this eastern side. It's now Aeon and Cybern versus UEF, and those Percys still making it difficult for Team 1 to keep that territory essentially not homogenized, but just homeostasis. Team 2 have a game plan. Fat Boy coming online. That is a Nuke. think that's a nuke. Yeah, that's a nuke of what's coming online here for Slash. Looks like one nuke isn't going to be, it could make or break the game, but with players like these, SMD should be coming online here pretty shortly. And intel is pretty stable between both teams. They're constantly getting intel reports. You can see this is what Team 2 has seen in a recent while. This is what Team 1 can see. I mean, they're getting reports, and Omni is online. Team 2 has lost theirs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they build one in the middle of Rayla's little fire base. And the amount of forces coming out from Team 2's egg roll are not enough to break through that front line. And now PD are going to be built for defensive measures. Of course, not building the Cybern one because again, tickle cannons. But that's all I got to say. This is going to be a bad engagement for Team 2. If Team 2's main tanks are lined up like this and Team 1's are lined up like this, a lot more of the attack power can come from Team 1 versus Team 2. And I think Team 1 is going to move in. Those Othams need to move in and intercept quickly, or they're going to get killed off pretty quickly, especially given that the bricks are now firing on the Othams, not being given any commands to attack or counterattack. The bangers have been depleted, but there's not depleted. They've been slowly being depleted, but there's still a lot more to deal with for Team 2. And Dreamer Lazy builds the first experimental of the game. It is a Monkey Lord in the east, which another one will be built in the west here pretty shortly. There it is. So 2 Monkey Lords will be online here within, I'd say, 30 seconds of one another. Team 2 has a Fat Boy, but that's a little bit ways away. And there has another Fat Boy down here as well. So 2 Fat Boys coming online here for Team 2. But I think Team 2 needs to go for chicken. They need some sort of main attack power in terms of T4 technology. They don't have Aeon, so they do have Cybern, though, so they could go for Monkey, but their Cybern player is going for a Nuke Launcher, which is almost done, to be fair. We'll see if he heavily assists that or not. And just Ravager war constantly back and forth here between Team 1 and Team 2. Can't even beat T2 PD, because T2 PD can't even reach. T2 artillery not being used to deal with these fire bases here, but it does look like Hutsy has the better group of Ravagers and Clink Hammers. Team 2's Rayla is doing the P-Gen assistance, so they'll reload twice as fast, so the fire rate is increased by double, would be the way that I would, another way to phrase that. Nuke and Fatty says Cement. The eyes in the sky for Team 1 is Cement. He is the only killed out player, allowing Team 1 to focus on other measures. Just go like, oh yeah, there's a nuke being built here and a Fatty being built there and whatnot. SMD please says Cement. The SMD hasn't been started yet, and if that nuke can load, which is getting a lot of assistance, look at this thing, it is cranking away. Would like to see some hives in this mix as well, but that thing is loading pretty quickly. What does Slanesh have for? There's about 6,000 more mass in the clip, and it's still positive, so it does have a decent amount more mass to funnel to that project. We have some gunships on the edge here for him as well, speaking of Slanesh. These are actually Stingers donated by Team 2's player of, I think, Rayla. But we have some broadswords and some whalers. Love to see that mix. Of course, we'd love to see restorers as well to really complete that trifecta. But T2 Stingers going after T3 Mechs. The ASFs are right next door. Will they get the T3 Mechs? I don't think so. It was close, though. 150, sorry, not 150, 1,500 hit points away. The T3 gunships will retreat, but they notice a nice little juicy target of a Monkey Lord. Definitely the broadswords are suited to take out this Monkey Lord. There's not really a lot of AA. Oh, there's more coming in. There just wasn't some immediately next door. And Team 2 has a wide open door for Team 1 to exploit. Still Ravagers back and forth, not stopping any attack. Now getting a lot more momentum here for Team 1. Bricks moving in, and a horde of bangers behind them to deal with those Janus that is constantly raining. Again, that napalm from the sky, burning all of that metal and cybernetic implants and whatever else is inside those bricks. Fat Boy is online, and Fat Boy is gonna tick into the green here pretty shortly, but Team 2 has a bigger issue. That Monkey Lord. The T2 and T3 units should be fine for the most part. It's mainly that Monkey Lord is the main issue for Team 1 and Team 2. But Team 1 has a lot of ASFs now online. Same with Team 2. So they have a lot of ways to attack in the air. They're able to fight essentially as equals for now. The nuke is about 66, 70% done. Team 1 does not have an SMD online. Ooh, that's... oh, there's one up here, but it's not going to save the air grid or the comm or the whatever else. Oh no, there's an SMD. It's hiding, but it's not gonna load. It's not enough assistance. Needs to be a lot more assistance on that SMD. So the nuke will most likely go for that air grid, and Slaanesh could easily just do a attack order immediately to launch that off and kill off the air grid. That's probably what needs to happen, essentially, to knock out Team 1's ability to replenish ASF. There's a lot of assistance from Team 1 to produce ASF, try to catch up against Team 2, but this nuke, this SMD is not going to load in time. Go Mega when you have Eco says Cement, and I make war on you. Going for that Rayla builds another experimental. It is a FAP warrior, devoting it to the middle section to deal with this attack that is inbound. The Monkey Lord was taken out by that horde of fatties. That horde of Percy's guarding said fatty. Eggroll did take a significant amount of hit point loss, but he's perfectly fine for now. And now with the rest of those T4 units and the support are in full retreat. Nice group of sniper bots in the east, but they're vulnerable. And this firebase in the middle is vulnerable. The shields are down, and there goes the nuke. It is launched, and it is going for that air grid. And it's not going to get all of it. It's going to get about 95% of it. Well played, GG, says Cement. I don't think it's GG's yet. And obviously, if you've looked at the timestamp, the game still has another 30 or so minutes. So, not GG's yet. But it definitely hurts Team 1, most definitely. And the SMD was not prioritized. I mean, it was 75% of the way there, but just needed more assistance from Team 1. Maybe had Hatsi devoted some engineers, maybe it would have loaded. And there it goes. Kaboom! And like I said, almost the entire air grid, bar a couple of T3A facilities and a PGen. What has that done to the eco? It's severely deplenished the energy reserves of Hatsi with all those PGens just gone. How is the Ecos doing? Well, Team 1 is in the lead at almost 900 versus Team 2, 700. And Team 1, Hatsi just says, I'm done, see ya, bye. Can't see Fat Boy, no EGG. Yeah, that's got to hurt. Team 1, they can't see the Fat Boy to target it. It's got to hurt. The spy plane does fly overhead, but they still don't spot the Fat Boy. And UEF best faction says, Rayla, I will... definitely second that sentence. Well, is it best out of 100% situations? No. Is it really good? Yes. And again, all the factions have their advantages and disadvantages. In fire-based wars like this, I mean, obviously, UEF shine, considering they have the only ones that have T3 PD capabilities. But they also have the mobile Fat Boy, which Rayla also does not have a lot of power either. It looks like their power issues have been fixed now. But Team 2, they're starting to counterattack in actually all avenues. Team 1 is essentially just fallen back entirely on that western front. Looks like just some engineers being thrown together to get some reclaim. The Crab being assisted, not super heavily, but looks like they're just upgrading the hives as we speak. And the air grid isn't even being rebuilt. So now Team 2 again at 2 players left. Team 2 at 3 players left. Team 1 at 2 players left. And those Fat Boys are slowly encroaching on the eastern and middle lanes. The one in the west is still hanging out, building, I don't know what it's doing, but it's building parashields. Yeah, it looks like it's building parashields right now. Yep, there it goes. The parashield has been deployed. And Fat Boy is now pushing on that western side. So 3 Fat Boys, 1 on each lane, are pushing Team 1 back. But Team 1 does have a Crab, and that thing is going to push that Fat Boy back, most definitely. I'd say 1 Fat Boy against 1 Crab. I go for the Crab unless the Fat Boy can get away in time. But if it's 3 Fat Boys versus 1 Crab, that Crab is definitely not going to win that fight, most definitely. But now Dream Malaysia has all of the eco except for I Make War on Use under his control. 760 mass per second is a ton of mass. We could see a game ender here pretty soon. Another nuke is launching this time again, still outbound here from Slaanesh. Going after this position, the SMD will be able to cover this. Definitely a missed opportunity there, but of course this SMD is also loaded, so it's kind of a 50% flip a coin. Which one is it? I'll take that one out kind of thing. And there goes the SMD, shoots that down. But Team 2 will know about that, obviously, so they won't see the explosion occur. Ravagers are being dealt with, and so now the middle of the map is free, somewhat, of Team 1's defenses. Tons of parashield. Those things are not stopping producing anytime soon, and they're being pumped out very, very quickly by that Fat Boy. in the west. Very similar situation. Another parashield. Team 2's Rayla using the Fat Boys as mobile factories, as their name entails. Experimental mobile factory. Should be experimental mobile artillery and factory, but anyway. Team 1 spam in the form of Medusa trying to take out all of these Percy's. Percy's not suited to take out the horde of T1. Spam should be Titans, should be in this mix. So if Team 2's the egg roll is watching, just include a couple of Titans in the mix and you'll be perfectly fine. You obviously don't want to risk the Fat Boy using its secondary guns, because if it's using its secondary guns, things are too close. So, well, I will Janus the SMD, says Rayla. That was that in all chat? No, that was the allies. That's there are more shields being built and more of them being devoted to protection of that SMD. Second one has loaded, and looks like there is more assistance going on to load it as we speak. Lazy does have, again, still the shield on board. Probably should build the second one just to, again, defend against any sort of nonsense that Team Q could throw at them. But the Janus are being built, and these Janus are that's not looking good. That's not looking good for Team 1. They have AA, but they don't have a lot of it. They need a lot more. The ASFs are sitting right in front of that SMD, but the Fat Boy is pretty close. And if it sits right about here, it should be able to hit those ASFs that are sitting on the ground. So never keep your ASFs on the ground. Bad. Unless they're in like the remote corner of the map and no one's going to notice. But large group of AA and now Crab are online. Actually, I think there's more AA than there's bricks, to be fair. Maybe it's a 1-to-1. Crab moving in and a second one moving in. Maybe we'll see a third one. SMD being loaded to protect that side of the map as well. The nuke just launched. If the nuke launches, it will kill off Mech Wars on used base. If Slanesh doesn't load it, doesn't launch it, that's definitely a missed opportunity. But Strat Bombers are inbound anyway, so it won't really matter. All of them impact the shields. ASFs are drawn to those bombers. Will the bombers get another pass? No, they will not. And that Guardian T3 strategic missile defense will be perfectly fine. I think he needed probably one or two more. Would have been enough. I think two more definitely would have done it. But the Janus are inbound, and will they break the shields? They are falling by 1s and 2s, by actually 10s, I should say. And no, it does not crack the shielding. Some fire is on top of that shield, but not enough. And that is actually not a terrible amount of mass to scoop up from that. It wasn't enough. Team 2 needs probably triple that to really break through. Tactical Nuke is coming online here for Rayla, pulling out all the stops. Next thing we'll see is a satellite and a Mavor being built at some point. Just because, I mean, that's kind of what UEF players do. Nuke is launched. It is going for that front line, and it's actually going to miss a decent amount of it. Fat Boy is in retreat, producing parashields to defend itself, and some Othams as well. Not producing the Othams. Pretty interesting if it could produce Othams, but the nuke is overhead here pretty soon. And the bricks are starting to stop for a second, but it's right behind them. Boom, takes out a couple of the, actually a decent amount of the bangers, but that's really about it. EMPs a couple of the bricks, but it's not needed to be probably right about here to really make it worth it. It's really hard to lead nukes, especially with units being slower or faster than others. It's kind of hard to really predict exactly where it needs to land, but probably about maybe 30 seconds sooner had it launched, it would have been better. But a lot of the bangers are back there, and the whalers will come in and just wail on those bricks. Yes, I said it. Actually, some broadswords in the mix as well, but one Crab is down. Team 2 still, of course, has their Fat Boy producing parashields like it's going out of style. The bricks and the Crab are focusing directly on this Fat Boy, but there's two Fat Boys coming in from the middle, and I think that's what Team 2's rather is trying to do, trying to draw the Fat Boys together, or try to draw the Crab together with the Fat Boys. Was producing a chicken, but that chicken is never going to finish, unfortunately. The Crab still not focusing the Fat Boy, focusing on the unbuilt chicken. Definitely a missed opportunity in that regard, and now the secondary Fat Boys are firing on those bricks. Does look like the Crab now will rotate to that Fat Boy. Parashields trying to do what it can to protect that Fat Boy, but it is going down. Even if the Crab is going to be killed off in 30 seconds, that Fat Boy, if it's not being targeted by the Crab, will die. But there are some T3 land headquarters that need to be taken out as well. And that crab, just going to focus on those for now. The bangers are coming in to take out the rest of the gunships. The ASF's coming in for Team 1 and Team 2. It will be the first true ASF fight of the game. The commitment is not... Oh, it breaks them up. I think it could have been a really nice first engagement here for Slaanesh. But of course, everything is trying to stop the advancement of the crab for that nuke launcher. Nuke launcher is about to load one. There it goes. It's down. That's got to hurt, but the crab will die here. They're trying to get in range, of course, of the air grid. T1 bomber is going to be spammed up. There was a crab almost done as well. But again, 3 Fat Boys raining on top of that crab. It is going to die. The pigeons are the main concern, of course. Get the cascade going, and it will take the rest of the air grid out. Team 1 is not out of this yet. I make warn you has made a serious play for MVP of the game. And Fat Boy, oh, fire raining, and there goes the rest of that air grid. That's got to hurt. I think the T3 air headquarters is also in that mix. There it was, and the bricks are going to be wrapped up. And Team 2 has a huge hole to deal with. I'll make it all right. I'll make an air grid, says Raylan. That's it. I'll make it all right. That point in the east, still pushing. Does look like one of them was killed off, but the crab was also killed off. So kind of a 1-for-1 kind of scenario. Net zero environment. But look at all the mass that's on Team 2's doorstep, and not even on their doorstep, it's in their house. 222,000 mass on the field, and 150,000 of it literally right here. There are a couple of bricks still online up here, but their engineers already scooping that mass up to, of course, funnel into other projects. Maybe we will see a T4 Mavor being built in this game. I don't see anything as of yet. And those Fat Boy and T3 units now pushing against the base once more. There's a lot of PD2 through shields as well. There's an emissary being built next to the SMD to protect it. And small little air crits still online here for Dreamer Lazy, but there's no real plans to go for T4 units. T4 artillery / game enders. There's no emphasis for that. Strap bomber over top gets killed out by roaming ASFs. Roaming air quotes, and the Ravagers still firing. I think they can cool their guns for now. Percy's still pushing forward against Harbingers, and Harbingers do have shields, but a couple of shots take out those Harbingers very, very quickly. Percy's, again, I will say it, are the best T3 mainline assault bot in the game. And Dreamer Lazy is pretty close. Those tickle cannons, they're not going to do a whole lot. The shields are falling. All the Percys have to do is get in range of that comm, and that comm might just be dead. The shields have now collapsed. His personal shield is the only thing saving him. His shield is now gone, excuse me. Percys need to launch a volley or two, and that is it for that commander. Percys are moving in, and the Fat Boy is still focused on taking out the shields, taking out the emitters now. Percy's taking out more and more defenses, and that comm will retreat. Maybe he was allowed to retreat. I don't know. Strap bomber over the top probably targeting the Percys. And Fat Boy fire raining and taking out the emitters. The shield emitters still online. And Dreamer Lazy being repped up as we speak. Did get a little bit singed in that engagement. But this is not looking good here for Team 1 on this eastern side. And Billy Nuke in the west here for Team 2's comm of Rayla is kind of struggling building that, loading that nuke though. It looks like it's building with power to compensate. Because it's now pumping out, actually not really pumping out ASF. Kind of is, kind of not. And does look like Celeste has given everything over except the ASFs over to his teammate and a crab, the one that was being built earlier on. 3 Fat Boys in the east, assisted by a ton of parashields. That's where all the energy for Rayla's going, is all the parashields. Jeez. We're talking about 118 parashields. That is a ton of parashields. And those Percys are still not stopping. They're now rotating a little bit westwardly, and now there's a crab. But maybe they're trying to go for that SMD. There's no nuke anymore, but still taking out an SMD would annoy Team 1 at a minimum. Dreamer Lazy has fallen back a little bit more. T2 artillery being spammed up to defend, and those Percys will be forced to retreat, and the Fat Boy as well. It's now in range of that T2 artillery. There, this eastern front is collapsing. Team 1 still holding on to this western one, but there's not really, again, a lot of focus on it. just due to the fact that, well, you know, there's nothing here literally by either team except the FAF boys for defensive measures. They can grab the crab and all of the other mass that's still there. They've done a decent job grabbing as much as they did and as quick as they did. That a miss? What? What? Oh, that's a T3 spearhead. Like, where's that missile going? Crab assaulting the middle of the map now, and Crab going to start rotating to defend as well. Team 1 putting all of their eggs in one basket. The emissary is almost online. Already has 2 P-gens to assist its fire rate capabilities and a couple of shields to defend. And they have a Fat Boy on their doorstep and 2 of them, apologies, on their doorstep. And they are also pumping out some T3 spearheads and some Perseus. And just now that the walk from the main base has been severely cut in half, or 2/3, 3/4, whatever the case may be, just by the one inclusion of the T3 land facility right here, and more of them actually going to be built. Looks like they're just going to be T1 spam facilities. Probably going to go for Lobos, or I mean, it'd be really funny to see Mech Marines. That'd be really enjoyable to watch. But the Crab facing off against the Crab. This Megalith will not win, but it's going to take out some T3 land anyways. Looks like it might just go after the T3 land headquarters here for Team 1's Dreamer Lazy. That's his only Aeon one, so he'll lose that tech for a little bit. And looks like the Crab has bit off a little bit more than it can chew. Absolvers are nearby. Engineer's going to just reclaim, but they're going to die. And the 2 Fat Boys still pushing in. The pings do go down for Team 2 to target that emissary. Emissary is firing. Probably going after the air grid. I would assume shields need to come online immediately here for Rayla. And that artillery laser starting here for Sinesh. Looks like probably go for teleporter here pretty soon. There goes that artillery shell right in the middle of all those engineers. And takes out a facility as well. T3 air right there. Pings do go down. Say Artie where, says Rayla. Well, it's right there. You should see it. It's literally on the map. And Billy Nuke does go down. TMD is not there to stop it, but that's Billy Nuke's kind of hard to take out shielding. It's kind of annoying. T2 artillery, the amount that has been spammed up with the inclusion of a Fat Boy will force the 2 Fat Boys back here for Team 2. Both of them are in the yellow, and one of them might just die off right here. In the red. Oh, will he get away? Maybe. Will this one get away? That one would get away. And the Fat Boy is also retreating as well, so yeah, neither of them will die off. But Billy Nukes are going to be constantly launching here for Team 2. And in the west, 3 Fat Boys pushing on this western side. TMD protecting any sort of nonsense from those Billy Nukes. The T3 air headquarters is down. There were some strats being built. That shield is not going to be built anytime soon because it was essentially directly impacted, so that's got to hurt. And the Perseus aren't, I mean, they're falling back with the Fat Boys behind them. Fat Boys targeting the Crab. Second Crab coming in from the west. Colossus almost about to stand up here for defensive measures. Team 1, again, still not out of the mess. Still not out of the game. And that air grid is collapsing now for Team 2. We have Slanesh. He has laser. He's going for teleporter now. Do they have enough to go for it? No. No, they have. They're just going to go kind of a back and forth method. They are pumping out a decent amount of energy, to be fair. They might be gifted over some. I wouldn't be imagined. But the 3 Fat Boys in the west have been taken out by 2 Crabs. Rayla must be focused on other measures. Give E, please. Yep, there it is. And that's got to hurt. How, says Rayla. And those forces are retreating. Rayla's like, no, that's not what I wanted to see. Chicken is being built as we speak. Crab is back here. Crab needs to be sent to the front lines. The parachutes are being ripped to shreds. Those are megas, says Slanesh. Yeah, they're megas. They're right there. There's a lot of firepower and hit points on those things. A couple of the... Oh, wow. A lot of them did take a decent amount of battering. Of course, the T3 air is down still. Teleporter at 33%. Looks like the main target... I mean, I don't think that'll be worth it. There's a secondary artillery being built by Dreamer Lazy to the northwest. Where did those Janus go? Oh, they're over here. They are running around. And some strat bombers. So we have T1, T2, and T3 strat bombers. Not strat bombers, sorry, bombers. all in their different flying heights. But all of the air forces are being built up right here. Looks like it might just be one attack. Why do I have to do air as well? I have 70,000 mass. This mech can't spend. I lose everything to land push. And one crab is not going to be enough to hold off the amount of bricks and crabs that are inbound. Chicken trying to be built as fast as it can. There's a lot of engineering support. PD opening fire. There's 2 crabs now coming in. This western side has been a little bit weaker ever since that attack earlier on. T3 air headquarters is down for the Cybern variety. If you just kept good intel on top side, this would have been fine. The intel was fine for Slanesh, or it says Slanesh. But that second artillery is going up. It's in the yellow now. German Lazy built another experimental, probably that Colossus, I would assume. Maybe something else, but he does have another one over there. And there goes that crab here for Team 2's defensive measure. 1 crab for Team 1, but actually both of them now in the red. Some of them actually ignoring T3 PD. Jane is coming in, and Strat Bombers and the T1 Bombers. T1 Bombers are inbound. And there they go, being baked in T1, T2, and T3 UEF bombs. Both of those are gone. Billy Nuke coming in trying to take out more bricks. It's just the massacre from the skies. Anything and everything being thrown at this engagement. And it's just, you know, you name a bomber for UEF and it's here. There's only 3 of them, to be fair. Oh, actually, no, there's Torp bombers, to be fair. There are 4 of them, but Torp bombers don't work on land. And there it goes. It is gone. All of those bricks that were attacking are dead by holy hellfire. And now the ASFs have come in to bargain, and they will now retreat, going, we got what we wanted, see you, bye. And Slanesh will teleport in, has gun, laser, and teleporter. And is going to teleport right here, going after the secondary emissary. If Team 1 notices, I know they're busy doing other defensive measures. That's going to hurt, losing that. Mass says, I make war on you. Oh, saying, I need mass? I need mass is probably what he's getting at. He's built his own artillery. So Team 1 has 2 Team 3 artilleries online. There is the teleportation. Slanesh is moving. A couple of PD are able to open fire. Shield still online. T2 PD being spammed up very, very quickly by Slanesh. There goes that emissary. Maybe he'll try to get out of range. T1 PD also being spammed up. He needs to move. He's just kind of not really going after much of anything else. His laser's going haywire, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that. But there he goes. He's taken out. Did kill off the secondary emissary, but it is now a 2v2 game. It was kind of for a little bit, to be fair, but it's now officially a 2v2. I don't have the build power. Just recall, says Rayla. And there are 52 minutes in this game. I mean, I thought Team 2 kind of had it in the bag, but Team 1 has brought it back with a vengeance. I'm making Mavor, says Egg Roll. And it is coming online. It's in the red. It's about to take over into the yellow here pretty shortly. Make faster. I love that comment. I'm making a Mavor. It's 20%. Make it faster. I can't give mass. Why not? Why can't you give mass? What? Why not? What? That doesn't make sense. Why can't you give mass? Maybe take there? I don't get it. The egg roll. I mean, the egg roll could be funneling more mass to this project, to be fair. Why can't he give over mass? Well, why? Rayla, why can't you give mass? Why not? When you have 146 to spend still, you have 60,000 in the bar. I do a lot. We have 4 Fat Boys online. That crab is not... Sir, there's a lot of artillery and missiles and whatnot coming your way. That's not... I'm full bar. Just keep dumping... Oh, I see. That's why he can't get mass, because he's full bar. Sir, there's artillery. Sir, please stop. There's artillery and missiles and whatnot coming your way. Sir, what sir, that's a lot of fire. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He died because he didn't listen to my warnings. And the Fat Boys are pushing in. All they have to do, I think, is take out one of the 2 artilleries. They'll be able to buy enough time. Team 1 still hasn't noticed this down here. There is a... spy plane down here, but they haven't noticed much. Maybe they'll see this. Maybe they're thinking he's building a Duke. That Mavor is about to take over to 50%. Artillery raining in at the air grid. Air grid almost essentially gone here for Team 2's Rayla. And the air grid essentially isn't really non-existent for Team 1. There's a couple of air facilities, but it's really about it. Another crab being built by I Make War on You, coming in to defend that position. Again, with 4 Fat Boys, this should be just the open and shut case. There are some bricks moving in, and there's a lot of spearheads. Not as many Percys as there used to be. Tons of engineers for reclaim. T1 bomber spam coming in to probably target those. Actually, they're targeting the spearhead, which is weird. But, no. Is there any TMD here? No, not really. There's another Colossus moving in to intercept. All the Fat Boys have retreated. They're probably going to turn back around and face that Colossus that's inbound. He's fine. He has AA /Slanesh. What? Mavor at 63%. Second artillery. It does look like those Fat Boys will turn back around once again. All those T2 parachutes and T3 units kind of just body blocking this Colossus. Again, 4 artillery, sir, are raining. Sir, there are 4 Fat Boys shooting at you. Please turn around. You're not going to win that fight. They're too far away, and they have treads that they can just fall back on. Yeah. Again, not the best engagement. 4 Fat Boys is a lot of artillery. There's even a couple of Rambo presets mixed in there as well. Some really tanky boys here, 42,000 hit points. More hit points than the Fat Boy at 5-star veterancy. More total hit points. The 42,000 versus essentially 40,000. So you can, it's just, and that doesn't even have veterancy yet. So you can imagine how many hit points that thing's going to have. Already hit you, Slanesh. But it is in the green. Team 2's Rayla made a comment about recalling, but that artillery most likely will finish. Oh, I heard Billy Nuke go off in the middle of the map. Looking like it went after an engineer. Another crab will come in. The Fat Boys have moved in a little bit closer. One of them will be killed off. That crab is in the yellow. There are some miasma fire raining in and some strats as well. SMD and teledefense, says Rayla. And artillery is raining in. Does Team 1 notice it? No, but they assume what's going on. Artillery, the shield is being heavily assisted now. Rash presets being very, very useful in building more shields. They just lost one of them right there. Eggroll, I think, is the only one building the artillery. And the shield will now be built. This is Team 2's last-ditch hope. If they lose this, that might just be game. The emissary is still online here. Team 1, have you devoted to other tactics? There's some satellites going to be built. Here we see still 1, 2 artilleries, no more after the second one. The second emissary was killed off. 3 of the Fat Boys were killed off. Where's the 1, 2, 3? Where's the third one? There was 4. Unless it already got reclaimed, there was definitely 4 here. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 experimentals here for Team 1, and Team 2 lost 3 Fat Boys. So I mean, I'll take again. I will take that trade. Oh, excuse me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 experimentals, and Team 2 lost 3. So, yes, take that trade any day of the week. And the emissary is the Mavor is almost done. I feel like the emissary is the more annoying of the 2 to deal with, considering it has that splash damage that occurs after the fact. There is a disruptor constantly firing. The emissary still hasn't gotten the other 2 P-gens, so its fire rate is not as good as it could be. The shields are collapsing, and there they go. The shields are down, but the Mavor is on. It's online. Oh, the shield gets taken out once again. And the secondary shield, the main shield, does also get taken on. T3 shield, will you be built in time? Artillery still moving in. The shield is back online. T2 shield going to be spammed up. There are some bombers inbound. Will they kill off the Mavor? Yes, they do. It's gone. There it goes. Oh, that's got to suck for Team 2. That was their last-ditch hope. Their main hope. Why do you stop making shields? It's that time, says Rayla. And I think we know which way this is going here, folks. 58 minutes in the game. Team 1 has 2 artillery with some satellites coming online. And they really don't have a lot of air. Well, they have the ASF that they still have, but man, Mavor didn't even get to shoot its shot. And now there's some arguments going on between Team 2. What's next, says Streamer Lacey. Man, So close. Yeah, that was, I'd say, about 1 or 2 minutes, and I think Team 2 would have been fine, taking out one, if not both of those artilleries. But again, now with the satellite online, more of them coming online, Team 1 in the better eco position, I think. Yeah, well, actually, Team 2 is actually in the better eco position. 1.3 versus 1, so close. Yeah, it's definitely close. Rayla just pumping off. I'm being raged at by the guy who gave up his base because he rage quit. Oh, from Slaanesh, that's what he's talking about. I mean, sometimes stuff happens, it's under your control, and it's better to give stuff. Watch the play and tell me what I had that was worth keeping to myself. I mean, to be fair, Slaanesh did not really have a lot after that engagement on the west. Now we can play it out. But again, almost 1 hour on the clock here. What is there to play out, says Eggroll. I kind of feel that sentiment here for him. I'll split it up to 2. And artillery still raining in on Eggroll's position. They don't want him to build anything else. He's going to build more Fat Boys. But got to spend that mass somehow, I guess. Yep, essentially has a full bar. Lasers over the top. Going to stop that Fat Boy from being constructed. Stucks, please, next time scout more. The intel was fine. And maybe kill Artie with telemaser. I did. You killed 30% on it. They had an Artie where I tele. Yeah, well... No, they had one finished in 1 second. 30. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, the one that they were building was the one he killed off, but the one that was already constructed. But this one, right next door, is at almost in the green. The guy just sped it up to 2 because again we can kind of see where this is going. Grab dealing with the eastern approach. Team 2 had the game, but then they lost it for a little bit, and then they almost came back. But almost in the counts and horseshoes and hand grenades. Don't backseat me retroactively if you weren't. What did you say? You weren't watching. And there's arguments to be made that Team 2 did most definitely had a chance to win, but just didn't go. Fat Boy actually did get finished off, surprisingly. I don't think it's going to be... nope. Nope. That satellite's going after that Fat Boy. And right on top of that artillery shot. Ouch. Ouch. And that crab is inbound here for Team 2's the Eggroll. At least that's what I'm assuming he's going after. Just going after everything. Strap bombers are inbound. Slow down to watch this. Inbound. There it goes. They're going to drop their bombs. They are UEF as well. He's in the yellow. Does have a satellite overhead. More strap bombers are inbound as well. Takes another shot. Takes 2 more. Dropped into the low yellows. Still at 7,500 hit points though. I say low, but 7,500 is a lot. And Satellite's going to keep beating down on him. Get that back up to 2. Shield canceled. Starting shield. Shield canceled. Starting shield, says Rayla. Got rid of the Billy Nuke. And that Crab is being swarmed by those forces outbound from the Eggroll. But Eggroll is eventually killed off by Dreamer Lazy from those satellites. And now it is a 2v1 game in favor of Team 1. I don't understand how we lost this, says Eggroll. Well... I don't know what exactly was the point in which Team 2 lost, but they definitely had a way to come back for sure with the Mavor, but it just didn't materialize. And there is the comm here, the last one for Team 2. Parashields, not parashields. Oh, there are more parashields to be fair. Artillery rain in, going after Rayla. There goes a lot of the shielding. That's why emissaries are dangerous, because they get that dual damage nonsense. Rayla's going to move. Artillery should be coming in here pretty soon. There goes one. Oh, the man's right next to it. That's going to hurt. Oh, it's going to hurt. Going to build more shields for defense. We got 2 satellites and 3 artillery raining in. That's not going to feel good here pretty soon. We might see a recall. We might just see a kill. Either or. This is going to go for Team 1. The shield is going to collapse. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Tons of T2 shielding. I mean, it only can do so much. Is building a Mavor as well, but I still don't know if that's not going to finish. Given the fact we know what time the game's going to end. There goes the artillery right next to the comm. The comm's going to move once again. It's just not really working out there. Team 2's eastern side has collapsed. Attack down the middle doesn't really go anywhere. And the western side is collapsing. 1 hour, 5 minutes in this game. And I think, obviously, they knew what the right... Sad, says Rayla, and I think that will be the last mentions here from them. Need to go play some Setner Gap to learn the way of the Artie, says Rayla. And Lanesh says plus to agree with that, and he will gate out, and that will be a win here for Team 1 at 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 31 seconds in this game. I think MVP for Team 1 probably goes to Dreamer Lazy just because they held up for so long underneath that Fat Boy pressure in the East. I mean, there was probably, 8 or 9? I think there was 8 at least. Experimentals just right here on their doorstep. They got crushed by those Fat Boys. Of course, the Strap Bombers coming in, taking out the Mavor as well. It's just Team 2, they had it for a while, but Team 1 came back and just got them in the, uppercutted them, and that was it. So, yeah, I think Dreamer Lazy gets the credit for MVP in this game. And thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please subscribe. Please like the cast if you did so. Please share the video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. There we go. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.